everybody, it's Miss Grace. I'm checking in on you today. I'm a little casual today because I exercised. I walked around my neighborhood and I always feel better after exercise. I hope you got out into some fresh air today and had a fun activity to do because exercise always makes me feel better. I hope it can do the same for you. I have a great book for you today, and it has something to do with what I bet people ask you often. That is, what are you going to be when you grow up? This book is called Who Will I Be? And it's by Abby Huntsman. And she had wonderful values. That's what I liked about this book. She wanted to make the world a better place. And I bet she's doing just that by writing this book. The pictures are by Joanna Lou Vitroff. You're going to recognize some helpers in this book today who we've been talking about on the news because we have so many helpers in our community taking care of us during this time of challenge in our country and in our world. Here's Isabel's teacher. Isabel's the main character, and her teacher says, "Who do you want to be when you grow up?" asked her teacher. Everyone around Isabel waved their hands in the air. They all had an answer. One said, "I want to be a businesswoman." One said, "I want to be a basketball player." Another one said, "I want to be an artist." And poor Isabel didn't know what to say. When the teacher said, "Isabel, what about you?" she said, "I don't know." And that bothered her. In fact, it bothered her all day long. It bothered her during lunch, during music class, and even during gym class. Then her dad picked her up. It was still bothering her when her dad came to get her. "I don't know who I want to be when I grow up." "Well," her dad said, "what makes you happy?" "Well, last week I went to the pool with Kayla. That sure made me happy. And I enjoyed selling cookies at the bake sale at church. That made me happy. And remember when we helped the man find his parrot who was lost? That made me happy." "Maybe you want to be someone who helps people," said her dad. "Helper isn't a job, Dad," Isabel replied. "Of course it is," her dad said. "Lots of jobs are about helping to make the world a better place." Isabel wasn't too sure. "Let's take the long way home," Isabel's dad said. "I want to show you some people who have helping jobs." I bet your wheels are turning right now and you're thinking about people who are helpers in the community. I'm going to close the curtain a little bit so the sun's not so bright on my pictures. "We'll start right here at your school," Isabel's dad said. "Who do you see?" "I see my teacher," said Isabel, "and I see the crossing guard." They're both helpers, aren't they? And Dad said, "Yes, your teacher helps you learn and the crossing guard keeps you safe." Isabel had never thought about it that way. Let's get the other curtain too. There we go, that's better. "Let's see who else we can find," her dad said. A man in a white coat walking a dog gave Isabel a friendly wave. "He's a veterinarian," said Isabel's dad. "He helps people by making their pets feel better." Some people help their town by joining the police force. Others join the military, and that means the Army and the Navy, the military like that, and they help by keeping us safe. Isabel and her dad overheard the policeman ask an older woman, "May I walk you to the library, madam?" That was kind of the policeman, wasn't it? Let's stop at the library, Isabel, said her dad. Hi, whispered the librarian. Do you need help finding a book? I could also sign you up for our book club. Yes, thank you, Isabel whispered. Happy to help, the librarian whispered back. You know, they whisper at the library so they don't interrupt people who are reading. You try to be quiet sometimes. Let's go to the park, Dad, said Isabel. Can you spot the helpers here? Isabel's dad asked her. Isabel looked around. Who would the helpers be at the park? She saw an activist asking those passing by to sign a petition. You know what an activist is? Is someone who really believes in something so strongly that they want to convince others also. So you might call Miss Grace a kindness activist because I want everyone to be kind. I don't ask them to sign a petition though, I just ask them to be nice to each other. She saw a gardener in a city uniform and she saw the garbage man. He's helping by keeping our city clean and beautiful. There were really helpers everywhere. Our city has these things. We have Pastor Martin, who is a gardener for the Camden Community Gardens. And we also have the people who work for the city who keep our city nice and clean and tidy, and they plant flowers and make it beautiful. Next, Isabel and her dad passed by a church, and they saw the pastor. What's your favorite thing about your job? She asked the pastor. Guess what he said? He said, I like helping people. I also like volunteering at the soup kitchen. And that's next door, he added. Can we help with that too? Isabel asked. Have you ever helped at a soup kitchen where you go and serve a meal? I bet some of you have. They worked at the soup kitchen until it was time to go. And Dad said, let's go meet your mom at her office. We should take, on the way, they saw a reporter interviewing a fireman who'd rescued a kitten. Journalists make sure we know what's happening, Isabel's dad said. So there's a news reporter. I know several wonderful news reporters in our city. And Isabel says to the fireman, you should take that cat to a veterinarian, Isabel told the fireman. There's one right down the street. Was she being a helper then? I think so. Soon Isabel and her dad found Isabel's mom. Mom, Isabel yelled and ran to hug her. Isabel's mom worked at the mayor's office. Here comes a surprise. Because Isabel's mom was the mayor. We all know our mayor in the city of Salisbury, right? That's Mayor Jake Day. I'm learning all about service, Isabel said. Do you help people? I do, said her mom. My job is to help the people of the city by listening to them and helping to pass laws that make their lives better. Isabel had a lot to think about. Look at all those helpers. She was thinking about everyone she'd met on her way home. There were so many different ways of helping people and so many different jobs to choose from. I still don't know who I want to be when I grow up, she told her dad. But I know one thing. Let's see if you know the one thing. I want to be a helper. Isn't that a great story? You can be a helper too. You can help around the house. And when we do go back to school, you can help at your school. You can help in your community. If you're happening to take a walk around your neighborhood, you could always take gloves and a bag and pick up some trash. If you're with an adult, I would only do it if you went with your parents or a grown-up. And you can be a helper in many, many other ways too. I wish you well. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on the next book.